Alrighty. Well, I think due to process of elimination, you already know who you're playing tonight.
I'm playing Moo! Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
I gotta sit up here a little bit more with my voice. Oh, really? Right. Me too.
So, last time, Moo found themselves in the upstairs.
Yeah, the upstairs.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
There was thieves attacked and stole from the library and stole a couple of very important and valuable tomes of alchemy.
My books.
Your books.
In my mind, they're mine.
Of course. Makes sense to me.
I worked hard to get them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had to communicate with people to get them, okay?
Well, a couple of mercenaries were hired by the library, and you tagged along with those mercenaries, and you have found yourself now in the upstairs with 2 mercenaries and a slave that they sprung from the slave pits in your hometown in order to track down and find these thieves that fled back to the surface world. Pretty daring robbery. But you have now arrived at the outskirts of a forest. Let me go ahead and pull up a little map for you. So you arrive at that point right there. The cave to the Underlands is located sort of in the center of Vatra. And Slave has been taking you guys to the east toward these woods.
Right.
Luckily, it is nighttime currently, and you do not have to worry about the day star burning yourself blind.
So I can have my goggles off for a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay.
So the troop of you are heading toward these woods.
Okay.
The 2 mercenaries have Slave up in the front, and they both look a little bit uneasy. Make a perception check, please.
Oh, sure. Because, I did so good last... Hey, that's a 19!
Hey, there we go. See? It's possible. So what you know...
I don't know. I don't know if anything is possible without Paydor at this point.
Paydor's a murder machine. Everyone else is just trying to keep up.
Right.
Alright, so you notice something interesting. You notice... Oh, that was a profession check, by the way.
I would have gotten more with perception.
Yeah, and you did.
21!
Hey! Alright, good job.
Let me die!
So you notice something interesting. You notice that both Sylvek and Zaida, the 2 mercenaries that are traveling with you, which I'll go ahead and pull up their pictures again so you recall what they look like.
Oh boy. Them.
You notice something interesting, and that is that as they're traveling, every so often they both kind of look up at the sky, and you get a sense that they do not like it.
That's weird. Both of them do this?
Both of them, yeah. They're looking up at the sky, and they do not like the fact that there is not a roof above them.
And how's Slave doing?
He is staying quiet, and he is following along what he indicates to be a trail. Now, you can't make hide nor hair of it, but you assume he knows what he's doing. Like, to you, it just looks like you're walking toward some woods in the distance. But he seems to think that this is some sort of trail that he's tracking people.
Moo will quietly look at some of their potion bottles while following the group.
Okay. There's a lot of vegetation up here. It's kind of weird. Like, the whole ground is covered in it.
Oh.
It's very different than the Underlands, where you're from.
Can I collect some of it?
Sure, yeah.
If something looks unique?
Yeah, make a survival check.
Yeah! I'm sure that looks terrible. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a 23.
Yeah, there you go. So as you're traveling, you start collecting various plant samples.
I can't wait to figure out what this does. Ooh, and what's this one? Oh, this one's soft. Cool.
Zaida hears you mumbling to yourself about these cool plant samples.
Yeah.
And she turns and looks back at you and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Collecting.
This is not
What are you doing?
This is not a pleasure journey. We're on a serious mission.
But these samples could help my potions in the future to help our entire city. I'm keeping up completely, so I see no problem currently.
She rolls her eyes and turns back around.
I know I'm right. Moo's just looking around, grabbing stuff really quickly and following behind. Their pouch is slowly getting heavier. humming behind very badly.
Badly humming. All right. So as the party continues moving to the east, you find the edge of the forest. These are like plants, but they're really big. They're really big plants. They're bigger than you, which is odd.
Can I collect sprigs off of them?
Yeah, you can try to like snap pieces off of them and try to peel the outer layers of them and see if there's anything in there that's of interest.
I would like to do that.
All right.
Does it smell weird?
Yeah. I mean, the best way I can describe it is it smells like a forest, but Moo has no sense of
a forest
perspective on that, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
Moo is going to start taking a log of everything they've picked up, pretty much.
Nice.
How they feel, how they smell, their textures,
Okay.
their flexibility, stuff like that.
Okay, and how engrossed are you getting in this?
Maybe a little too much.
Okay. You start to fall behind a bit, and Zaida is going to stomp over to you and say, "What are you doing?"
Taking notes. Want to read?
She, like, snaps her fingers in front of your eyes. We are on the surface. Do you know how dangerous it is up here?
No.
She like, is just dumbfounded. It's very dangerous.
Why?
Because everyone up here is going to try to kill us.
I don't understand why. We look great. You look great. Anyways. Continues writing.
You can see her, like, talking to herself as she walks away from you.
She's just following while writing.
She's just like, I can't, I don't even, how did I get into this situation? I'm
Honestly, weren't you hired? Moo is actually listening. Looks up really quick and then goes back to scribbling.
Alright. You guys continue through the woods for a little ways, and you eventually see a light in the distance to the east.
Is that the gross star again?
No, this is on the ground.
On the ground?
There's a light.
How big is it?
Well, it's off in the distance. You're not sure, but it's sort of a reddish orange light. It looks like a fire, maybe in the distance.
Interesting. Instinctively puts on goggles.
Slave like holds up a hand to indicate to everyone to stop, and he kind of crouches down closer to the ground and kind of starts to move forward quietly. Sylvek looks impatient. He shoots an annoyed glance to Zaida, who rolls her eyes.
I'm gonna put one of these plants in my mouth and see how it tastes.
Okay. You slide a piece of vegetable material into your mouth and start to chew it slightly. It tastes like, well, it tastes like a leaf, but again, Moo has no frame of reference, so
okay.
It's a weird taste.
Just take it out of the mouth, put it back in the pouch, write notes.
I imagine Moo has never tasted chlorophyll before.
Probably not.
Not a whole lot of photosynthesis goes on underground.
Oddly enough, the grass, the carpet that we walk on, very tasty, almost sweet.
They live in an area where food just grows on the ground.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
All right.
Fascinating.
So as you're like giggling to yourself as you scribble notes, Zaida walks up and slaps the book shut in your hand. She looks at you with an intense glare and says, "Shut up."
Up.
Quiet.
Moo just blinks at her, nods, and slowly puts their book and their quill in their pouches.
Zaida seems contented by that and turns to start creeping back closer to this light to the east.
Moo's pouting.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place you on a map.
Okay. Oh, no. What does that mean?
So what you see is a clearing where the large plants have not grown. And in this space, there is a small semicircle of tents. In the middle of them is a fire ring. The fire is still burning, but it looks dim, like it's not been tended in a little while. Slave moves forward quietly. Sylvek steps up behind him, not quietly. Zaida looks annoyed at everyone. What is Moo doing?
They're gonna stick to Zaida, because even though Zaida's kind of been a bitch, literally the only person who's talked to them, and they're like, she knows what she's doing.
Alright, so Slave moves further into the camp and looks around, and after a few seconds, he gets all the way to the center of the camp, peers in the tents, and then speaks in a normal voice. It's empty.
Oh, it's probably a trap then. That's how books work.
Sylvek like immediately lifts aloft his two-handed sword. Where are they? Show yourselves! He shouts out into the woods. Zaida's just like, oh, you idiot. Moves forward and starts to concentrate on a spell.
Moo's just kind of hanging back and watching what the hell they're doing. It's like, I mean, why do we need why do we even need here? I mean, we can just keep walking and follow the trail to where the books are, you know?
The trail leads here, though.
Moo blinks a couple of times and then rushes in. Where are my books?
So you walk into the camp and you look around and you see, like I said, a bunch of tents, but they're all of them unoccupied.
I'm in the world?
The trail leads here, but doesn't seem to go anywhere else. Well, the trail that Slave claims leads to this. I mean, you haven't seen a single bit of this trail that he's been claiming exists.
There has to be something here, and Moo will start going in a tent to look.
Okay. Sylvek will start to hack things down, and Zaida's going to move over and start berating Slave for his ineptitude, since he was unable to find these things. I'd like you to make a perception check.
Okay. 24?
So as you're searching through these tents, you don't really see anything of note or value. There's like a little bit of scrapping for like bedding.
Okay.
But other than that, like any supplies have been removed from this place. You don't see like any packs or any sort of sacks or boxes or barrels. But as you're snooping through the area, you do hear something in the distance. You hear a strange animal noise. It sounds like an animal calling out into the night.
Is it like a howl or like
a
growl?
It's like a howl.
Moo just kind of freezes instinctively. Oh no, that's an odd noise. Moo will quietly get out of the tent that they were just in from the backside and peer out into the darkness.
Okay.
And they have dark vision because they're a dark elf, right?
Right, exactly.
Is there anything I can see into the woods past this little caravan area?
There is. You see 3 very fast-moving quadrupedal creatures. They're moving toward your camp, and they're sort of running together in a group, but as they approach, one of them splits off and goes to the left, the other one splits off and goes to the right, and one of them is continuing straight toward you.
We have an emergency. I think there are things here that want to not like us and maybe hurt us, Moo says, backing
All right, and at that
towards
point,
the fire.
I'm going to go ahead and lock tokens, and you hear more barks and growls as these quadrupedal creatures appear out of the woods, seemingly from all directions. There we go. So 3 wolves appear out of the woods, and they seem to be drawn in by some scent. You're not sure.
What in the world?
You weren't making a whole lot of noise, so you figure they must be hunting off of smells. All right, well, Sylvek won initiative.
Of course he did. That makes perfect sense.
So he is going to pull his greatsword up, and he is going to make a move over toward one of these creatures.
The one to the north?
Yeah, the one to the northeast. He is going to rage.
Oh, right, he's a barbarian.
He is a barbarian. He's going to rage, and then he's going to attack this thing with a power attack because he's crazy. He doesn't care about hitting, only about doing... Oh, never mind.
Oh!
He crits. So he power attacks and crits while raging. So let's see how much damage he do.
Oh my god!
Okay, he hits for 31 damage.
Oh my god. Okay.
He hits for 31 damage. And absolutely obliterates this creature. He cuts this wolf straight in two. Just bisects it. Cuts it in half. He's roaring in fury right now. Yes.
Oh, he's angry. I was gonna say, does he look any happier at least?
Oh no.
Why is everyone so grumpy?
He's a barbarian. He's always grumpy.
Oh, that's not true.
Alright, so Slave is up. And I believe you have not... Slave does not have any weapons of any kind because, these these dark elves don't trust him, so he's just gonna fall back and move to a safer location. In fact, he's gonna make sure he's within 5 feet of you.
Okay.
Zyda is going to cast a touch spell. Right, that's gonna hit. So a streak of fire comes out of her hand, and she strikes the a wolf to the south for enough damage to drop it. So they're actually, they're actually doing very good. All right, so it's 2 of them down. Moo, you're up.
I'm gonna move forward and roll a bomb towards it.
Okay, so there you go.
Julia, that's a 4. 7.
Yeah, it's a 7 adjusted. That's gonna miss, so it's gonna scatter.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna go down to the right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna do splash damage. So it's gonna hit for minimum 5 points of damage on the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I can't throw a bomb to save my life.
I'm just gonna check off one of your bombs for the day there.
Thank you. I'm over here in despair.
You're welcome. All right. So that wolf is going to charge at you, and it's going to attempt to bite Mur'ca'lu'mi, and it's going to roll very poorly.
Oh, thank God.
It's going to roll so poorly that it in fact critically misses.
What?
Yeah.
Is it gonna just kill itself? That would be great.
Maybe.
Moo would just be like, yeah, I did that. Thank you. Oh, God. Please kill yourself. Please kill yourself. Please kill yourself. Oh, please, Mr. Wolf. I can't. I'm very weak.
Oh, wow. So this is a weird one.
Yeah?
This critical failure is called Jam a Finger. Which,
okay.
I mean, doesn't make sense, but what it does is, it hits you and you take damage from the attack, but it takes double that damage.
So I get hurt, but it also gets hurt?
For twice as much as what it hurt you for, yeah. So here we go.
Okay.
So it's going to hit you for 6, and it's going to then take 12 in response.
And die.
And somehow it takes 12 and dies.
That's what I asked for.
Yeah.
Moo's really badly hurt, though.
Yeah, Moo is very badly hurt. Alright.
There's just a huge wince as a dog fucking bites Moo on the arm, and somehow in Moo's reaction to pulling their arm away, they accidentally snap the dog's neck.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about right.
Oh my God.
We
have fun here.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Nice.
I'm good.
You good? You sure?
And Moo just walks back with a bloody arm, grimacing. I killed it.
Excellent.
Yay me.
Slave looks relieved. Sylvek comes back and he's like wipes some spittle from around his mouth. Surface beasts are weak.
Moo's gonna heal themselves.
Alright.
Cure light wounds, and I'll drag that heal on myself, and I get an 8.
Nice. Alright. All of your hit points have been returned.
There we go. Much better. They just poured a fucking potion on their arm and were like, yeah. It burned, but it works. So
Zyda moves forward and asks Slave, what were those things? Slave explains that they're called wolves. And they normally travel in large groups. This was a smaller one.
Does that mean there's more to come?
He says possibly. Zyda looks uneasy. Sylvek looks bored.
I'm gonna take parts off of the wolves. I'll be right back.
Alright. Make a survival check.
Okay. I want its claws and its teeth and its fucking fur. 9. That's not very good.
Alright, so you kind of butcher it up a little bit, and you get some bits of wolf, but none of them are clean. They're all very bloody and gristly.
That's okay. I don't think Moo's ever skinned an animal before.
You always buy them from a shop pre-skinned.
Oh yeah, for sure. Moo's not a savage.
No. You go to the store for that sort of thing.
I thought this would be a lot easier. They make it look a lot easier. Oh well. walk back with bloodied hands, but looks happy because they have more items to use with experiments.
Nice.
I'm gonna come up with so many potions when we get back. It's gonna be great. Anyone want to be the first tester? Huh? Moose trying to be social because they're in this predicament where they have to be around other people. They're trying so hard.
Yeah, they are. Zaida looks to Slave and goes, Slave, you do it. Slave kind of like looks at you. He has sort of a pleading look in his eyes, but doesn't say a word.
It's not going to hurt, probably. Well, maybe. It depends. Your body's very different from a dark elf.
He swallows.
But it's okay, because the results will be the most important part, yeah? Right?
He nods.
And just looks at everyone else for unapproval. Well, should we keep on moving on to get those books, you know? The whole reason we're up here.
They nod and start to tear apart the camp more, looking for more clues. There must be
Alright.
something here that leads to something. The trail couldn't have just ended here. That's sort of what Zaida is speaking as she looks around.
Excuse me, slave?
He turns and looks at you.
Not a super big deal, but it looks like people maybe just put stuff down, but had to either leave really quick or did this to put people off their trail. Everything's kind of taken.
He looks a bit worried. I'm not sure where else the trail would have gone. It doesn't leave this camp. It only comes in from the direction we approached.
Could they have gone backwards? Like gone here and then gone back to make it confusing?
He thinks about it, and he agrees that that's the only answer that makes any kind of sense. So he says that we all need to backtrack and see if there's another splinter off the trail that he perhaps missed the first time through. Zaida looks annoyed at this greatly, and she mutters about how she's going to skin him alive when this is over. But she kind of mutters it to herself, to no one in particular. So the group departs and starts traveling along the same way you entered.
Uh-huh.
And this time Slave is like looking doubly close at the ground. He's trying to make sure that he didn't miss any clues. And it's around this point where you notice something strange. The sky, this empty place above you, is beginning to turn like it's on fire. It's beginning to change color on you, and you've never seen anything quite like it before. But it's beginning to become bright.
Well, Moo's gonna put their goggles on and keep on keeping on. They've actually been pretty good, I think. Not taking too much time to gather as much items. They really want their books right now. So the fact that their trail kind of got messed up is really annoying to them. So their blinders are a little bit more on at the moment.
Well, as you guys are traveling, you depart the woods eventually, and you're crossing like a small stream, and Slave is going to say that this is the only place he can think of where the trail may have diverged, so he suggests that the group travel downstream slightly, see if they can pick up the trail if it was laid in... If your theory was true and the trail that you were following was in fact a false one. So he asked if you can travel downstream slightly. Zaida thinks about it and agrees that it's the only reasonable plan of action. So the group of you start to tromp downstream, and it's about ankle deep. It's cool water running, and you're traveling. It's just a little creek. It's not very wide at all. You could jump across it if you wanted to. And as you travel down this little creek bed, I need you to make a perception check.
Yay! I don't know why. I get so excited about perception checks. I don't know if that's like the bard in me that knows that everything's kind of okay when you make a perception check. Let's see, 21.
21, excellent job. So as you're traveling down this creek, you see something in the distance. As the sky has become more and more on fire, you can see further and further away up here. And one thing you have noticed is that way in the distance, there appears to be a bunch of people moving on a road.
Towards us?
No, the road appears to be traveling across your horizon. From the right to the left.
Like a bridge.
So you think there's maybe a road or something in the distance, and there's a group of people moving along it. You see people and horses and wagons. It's a lot of them. You're not sure how many.
Excuse me, Zaida?
Yes, what is it? She looks annoyed, and she's a bit more worried than she was before. In fact, she seems to be sweating a little bit.
Well, there's, like, people ahead, and...
What?
You know,
Where? She turns and starts looking around. Everyone hide, now!
Wait, but, like, you said people hate us. What are we supposed to look like for them to not hate us?
Well, not ourselves. She grabs you and, like, starts yanking you into some high grass nearby.
Okay.
Sylvek does the same, and Slave, like, also, he hesitates for about a half a second, and then he also dives into the tall grass.
Moo, with their goggles, just looking around at all of them.
You see
anyways.
Sylvek is also sweating.
Am I sweating?
No.
No.
You're fine.
Okay, so it's not heat.
This place is fascinating.
I didn't really get a good look at them to figure out what they look like. Slave?
Yes?
Do people hate you, too? Like, upstairs? Here?
He shakes his head no.
Okay. Well...
So, without even having to make a perception check, you notice that Sylvek is starting to breathe very heavily, very quickly. He looks like he's,
having a panic attack?
having a bit of a panic attack.
Okay. Well, don't freak out. I'm gonna try something. Okay? And Moo pops out a bottle, kind of straightens up Slave's face in front of them and looks at it really deeply. Like, their hands are holding the side of his face like an idiot sandwich.
Okay.
So they're looking, they go, okay, I think I got this. They take their thumb and they put it inside his mouth. And they pull it out, and then they put their thumb inside of one of their potion bottles that already has liquid in it.
Yeah.
And then they drink it.
Uh-huh.
And they look like the same race as Slave now.
Alright.
With disguised self.
You drink that, and suddenly your appearance alters. Your skin changes color. Your ears become blunted. Your eyes become much more dull looking. Your hair stays the same color.
Bright yellow, they're brown, probably.
Yeah. Instead of bright yellow, they're brown. And suddenly you... Actually, they're probably green.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Red hair and green eyes. That's cute.
Yeah. It's the best combo. Everyone knows that.
Slave, I'm not really the best at talking to people all the time. Could you come with me? And Moo just gets up and starts walking towards the people.
Zaida's like, what are you doing?
I'm getting information. Moo just waves and starts walking towards.
Sylvek, like, starts freaking out. Like, full-on freaking out. So you and Slave, like, you grab Slave and start walking him over to this caravan in the distance.
Oh, yeah.
And the other two Dark Elves are, like, staying in the high grass. As you approach the caravan, Slave raises his arm and, like, waves at these people. And they kind of stop and assess the two of you for a second. And then they have you, like, some of them have weapons out for a second. And then they eventually sheath them and kind of wave you over.
Moo looks over at Slave's reactions to everything. They're reading.
So relieved. He looks so incredibly relieved. So he's
smiling?
Yeah, he's smiling.
Moo's gonna try to...
He gets over, and as soon as he gets over there, he says, there's two Dark Elves in the woods, in the grass, and points back at where Zaida and Sylvek were hiding.
Moo just stands really, like, still, and just slowly turns to him. I'm sorry, what are you doing?
I'm saving my life and yours, I think.
Mine? What?
So
I'm sorry. Wait.
At that, some of the people in the caravan are going to pull weapons.
Oh my god.
They're going to rush the tall grass over there.
Oh my god.
Sylvek pops out of the grass, like foam coming out of his mouth in a full-on barbarian rage again, charging at these guys with his greatsword. And he is going to go down in a hail of crossbow bolts and arrows.
Oh!
Zaida is going to stand up and try to run away, and she's going to take a couple crossbow bolts in the back, and she's going to die face down.
Okay. Now Moo is sweating. And then they tug on Slave's arm, and they just whisper, "This only lasts 10 minutes.
It's all right. I know you're different than them, and I'll vouch for you, all right?
They're gonna kill me. You're gonna be the murderer. You're going to have me killed, and I haven't even found my books yet. I just want to die. I want to read them before I die, at least."
Slave is going to put a hand on your shoulder, and he's going to, like, turn you toward him. He's going to say, "It's okay. Calm down."
You're talking so formally now. What happened?
Well, they're not going to kill me anymore.
I'm so confused.
It's all right. We're safe.
I don't feel very safe. I just saw what they just did.
So some people are going to come over and start talking to the two of you and say that they're going to ask what happened, and Slave's going to explain that the two of you escaped from the Underlands, and that, well, those dark elves were hunting you, and, well, thanks to you, this caravan being here, you know, their lives are saved.
I don't have that many more minutes. They're gonna kill me. I'm gonna start. Moo starts crying. They're having a panic attack.
Slave has not, like, stepped away from Moo at all, and has tried to keep an arm or a hand on Moo's shoulder or arm at all times, and has been kind of, like, whispering, like, it's okay, it'll be all right.
Moo's got their face in their hands, and they just start bawling. I'm going to die before I get to see those facts. Oh my god, this is it. Oh, and it's so bright up here. And of course they're still wearing their goggles, so there's just fucking tears clogging their goggles. Please be merciful.
So he's gonna say, "Moo, it's okay. You're on the surface. You're with me. Would you feel better if I told you my name?"
I don't know. I would feel better if I didn't think I was about to die in a minute.
All right. Okay. He's gonna go over and he's gonna talk to some of the people in the caravan, and do you want to listen in?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Make a perception check. Okay.
23.
You can listen in. He goes over and he starts to talk to some of the people in the caravan, including what appears to be the caravan master. And he says that two of you escaped, but his friend here, Moo, is in fact fleeing their people and is also a dark elf. And please don't be concerned. They're different than the others. They're harmless, and in fact they're friendly.
And Moo's sitting over there rocking back and forth in a fucking fetal position.
You get a couple of odd looks from people as Slave says this, but none of them seem to be overly aggressive toward you. And Slave walks back over with the caravan master, and he says, "I've explained the situation, and, well..."
He's not going to kill me?
They've all agreed that, no, they're not going to kill you.
Are you sure?
The caravan master nods and says, "Look, we've all heard the horror stories of what it's like down there where you're from, and no one blames you for wanting to leave all that behind."
So Moo just looks over at Slave with a, "Am I supposed to agree to this?" look.
Slave, he's gonna kind of give you, like, the slightest little nod to, like,
yeah,
let you know.
Awful. I really hated being around people. Which isn't a lie.
No, it's not a lie. So, as you're saying that, you notice that your skin begins to turn back to the dark shade of purple.
Oh, please don't call me ugly either. I'm sorry for existing and stuff.
It's all right. One of the members of the caravan is going to hand you a cloak that you can wear with a hood on it. That should do a decent job of obscuring your identity from a distance.
I mean, I already got goggles on, so as long as no one looks at my lower face, I guess I should be fine.
I think it's more your pointed purple ears, and, you know, your whole visual aesthetic is a bit alien. So
this is true.
They're offering you some reasonable amount of body coverage.
Thank you. No one's ever been this nice to me, I guess. Here. And Moo takes, like, some of the foliage they've been collecting. If you like it, I have this. The ground greens. They're very sweet.
You try to hand them grass clippings, and they just look at you like, oh dear.
Moo just looks back and forth between everyone.
You hear slaves say it's their first time on the surface. They don't really know anything yet about this place.
Awkward smile.
You hear a voice from behind you call out and say, I, for one, am interested in finding a bit more about this traveler.
Moo turns their head and looks.
You see an older-looking female human approach. She's wearing strange garb. It looks like what a lot of the wizards would wear in your community. Sort of a long, flowing clothes of various types.
Are you royalty?
No, just a traveling wizard. My group was hired to be part of this caravan's defenses, and, well, I've traveled this land quite a bit, and I've heard that the Dark Elves make a home underground near here. I would be interested in learning a bit more about it if you had time to speak of it. In fact, I would propose a trade if you were interested.
I got...
And Moo, just understanding the word trade is more of a physical thing, I think, in their culture. They start going through their pouches.
I don't really know what you have to offer, but, here's, this sticky thing.
No, you misunderstand. I simply want information. So...
Why?
I want to learn. That's part of what I do. I learn and I write things down.
Moo puts their, what I assume is a pine branch away.
I like learning too. I'm actually looking for books. Someone took them from my library, and I need them back. Yes, there is a library. I worked there. I hated it.
I see.
I liked the book part. I didn't like the people part at all, really.
She gives you a smile and says, I think I understand. My name's Sidali, by the way.
Sidali. Okay.
And I assume Moo actually has probably a photographic memory, so this will be easy. For Moo, not for me.
Yeah, that's understandable. We are not as smart as our characters sometimes. It happens.
Yeah. Let me cry about it, okay? At least Soul is dumber than me. Okay.
It's way easier to roleplay someone dumber than yourself than someone smarter than yourself.
It really is. Anyways.
Well, I would like to trade you information in exchange for something that might help you up here. You're going to notice that there are a lot of people who are going to judge you based on your race.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're up here, it's going to be somewhat dangerous for you to be walking around as you are.
Right. That's great to know.
It is, and information is a powerful thing to equip yourself with. So
if
you would like to equip me with the information of your homeland, then I can help you survive up here as well.
Moo grimaces.
Are you gonna kill everyone like you did those two?
I didn't kill them, but the guards did.
Do you plan on sending people to kill my family?
I don't intend on doing anything of the sort. I simply want to, archive things.
For history?
She nods. For posterity.
Well, okay. I guess that's fine, as long as you don't really have any ill intent. I'm not really good at explaining things, verbally, with people, so, it might be easier if you ask me questions.
Of course. Think of it as an interview, then.
A what?
An interview? A series of questions to a person to find out more about them. It's...
Okay.
So, she's going to talk to you for a little while about your homeland, about where you grew up, what your childhood was like.
Oh boy. Who's not the most interesting for that?
No.
And then sometimes I would just read.
And she's going to ask you about the books you've read, she's trying to find out mostly about, dark elf society and culture, as well as, architecture, and she's interested in, societal information. There are a few things that she'll latch on to, and she'll ask more pointed questions once she learns more basic information. And she talks to you for quite a while.
Have we been moving during this? Or
Yeah, the caravan's been walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really right up here, upstairs here. Do your eyes hurt, or is that normal for you?
No, this is normal for everyone up here, so...
Okay.
Our eyes don't really hurt from this. sorry to hear that yours do. And the goggles,
I have goggles on.
do they help all that much?
A little bit. I mean, they're mostly used for chemical flames that I deal with, so they're pretty handy. I think my eyes are fine, but if I take them off... Ugh, no. No. We're keeping them on. Yeah.
So, after a little while, she will be pretty sated with the answers that she's given from you about your life in society. And she's been writing all this down into a book that she's held in her hands this whole time. And when she's concluded with her interview, she's going to say that this has been a fascinating conversation. And she's very, very pleased with how this went. And she hopes that your time on the surface is both fruitful and safe. And to that end, she is going to reach into her pocket and she's going to pull out, say it's a little ring. She's going to hand the ring to you.
Thank you? What is this?
You look at it, and it has, it's worked in such a way that the metal is sort of loops in and out of itself, almost like a Celtic knot.
Okay.
But in the center of it is a picture, or like a pictogram of a head that has a face on either side of the head facing opposite of each other. Sort of like what would have been called like a Janus symbol in old times.
I do not know this phrase at all, actually.
Okay.
So this is new information to me. What the fuck is a Janus? I mean, fuck Janus, but...
So it's like a head with two faces.
Okay.
Each facing in the opposite direction.
Are the faces feminine, or...
No. They're not, it's not even possible. Like, it's not even detailed enough to be masculine or feminine. They're just basic pictogram face.
Okay.
And one face is left, one face is right. She asks you to put it on.
Okay.
And Moo looks at their hands. Is there a tradition?
It's controlled by a command word.
Okay,
And Moo puts it on their right index finger.
Okay. You slip it on there, and it fits pretty well. She says that to attune it to yourself, you simply need to concentrate on it and then speak a word that you wish to be the command word to make it work. And anytime you speak that command word with the ring on, it will function. So, choose wisely.
Okay. Chartreuse.
Alright, you concentrate on the ring and say chartreuse. And when you do, you see your skin grows pale and dull looking, your ears blunt, and the next thing you know, you look like a human.
Moo's looking at their hands.
Well, that's very interesting.
It's a limited glamour. It's not actually making you a human. You see, it's simply an illusion.
Fascinating.
She reaches out and touches the end of your dark elf ear, which looks like it should just be, you can't see the sides of your head, but your ear is still there, but everyone else would see it as just empty air.
Oh.
So you're still there under this, it's just an illusion.
Well, that's a very nice trade. Are you sure I gave you enough information for this? This just seems too nice. I don't think I deserve this.
Oh, no. This is quite alright. You've had a rough upbringing, I think.
Everyone really liked my sister. It's probably because she's hot. And I'm,
And Moo just moves their hands up and down at themselves.
I'm me. I'm still very tall compared to you, though. Of course, Moo is always hunchy. They're fucking, 6'8"?
Yeah, Moo's very tall.
6'7".
And yeah, this human wizard is probably like 5'5".
So Moo's just been huddled over this poor little thing. They have such a very awkward way of standing too. Their shoulders are always hunched and their hands are always clasped near their belly. Their arms are very close to their body constantly. They don't want to be out of line and accidentally touch someone. Ugh. That would be weird and rude, probably. Probably get in trouble. Ugh.
I think it's a fine trade. This is information, she taps her book, that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. That makes it rare and valuable.
You're welcome, I guess.
So, now that you have your freedom, what do you intend to do?
Well, I'm still looking for some books.
And Moo turns over back to Slave, which I assume has been following the caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Just probably not as closely since Moo was talking to someone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's been giving you space.
I'm still looking for these books that were taken from my library. They're very important to me, and I really want to get them back.
Slade will walk up and say, I'd like to help you find them, if they're that important to you.
You'll still help me?
I don't see why not. You seem like a good sort, and I really don't have anywhere else to go, I guess.
Please help me. I'm kind of a mess, and I'm not really good up here.
I'd very much like that. By the way, my name's Bernie.
Burning? Burning? Cool.
Offers a hand.
Moo stares at it. And they lightly put their hand on top of his. I assume it's out in a shaking motion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Moo, palm down to like the thumb area, puts their hand like near it.
Ta-da!
He laughs and says, "You've got some rough edges to work off, but I think we'll get you just fine."
I mean, I don't really socialize, so this is, yeah, I don't even know if I did that downstairs, because, I just kind of hung out in my lab in the library, mostly. So, you know.
Moo looks over to the entire caravan nervously.
So I suppose we'll be splitting off from them at some point. I don't know where my books ended up. Did you actually lose the trail back then?
He nods. I did. I wasn't able to find it again. Now that we have a chance at survival, I think that we've got some time to find these things correctly. I mean, there's not many other settlements around here. Not many other places for these people to have gone to.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess, I think they may have gone to Florica in the northwest.
Florica? That sounds exciting.
Well, it's called that because there's a fairly large amount of, flowers are actually grown there.
There are things grown there. I'm going to pick all of them.
I'm sure that will be interesting.
Oh, about earlier when I stuck my finger in your mouth, I am sorry about that. I'm told that I kind of forget about the body and the proper procedures.
Moo's just flailing their arms around.
It's all right, really. I understand. You were interested in seeing if your potion would work, and, well, I think it worked out for the best. Like I said, it kind of saved my life.
I still kind of feel bad that those people got killed. I mean, they weren't very nice, but I don't know if that was really necessary.
He kind of just grimaces a little bit. He says, I think they were planning on killing me.
Well, yeah, they were.
And I'm not really going to lose much sleep over their passing. If you'll excuse me, I guess.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just kind of weird. Anyways.
I think you're pretty interesting, actually.
Well, no one's told me that before other than my mom. So,
I want to die. This character's so awkward.
Weaponized awkwardness. Beautiful.
Well, in the meantime, where would you want to go to, try to find my books? Anyways.
Well, I think that if they've gone to Florica, we can ask around and see if there's been any recent talk of people coming back from the Underlands.
Oh.
He shrugs.
Well,
it might be our best bet.
I think I would really like that. I hope we can find them there, but I don't really know what to do if I can't find those books. They were going to lead me to future experiments. It has information in them from, like, a really long time ago. I've only seen the covers, but I can tell they're just from a completely different time. Culture was so different back then, and I just want them for myself a little bit.
He gives you a smile. I'm sure we'll find them, and even if we don't, there's plenty of libraries up here. I'm sure we can find you something interesting.
I mean, sure, but it's not going to be those books.
Ever the realist.
Well,
just really, if we can try for those books, that would be preferable. If not, I understand.
he nods, says that he's with you all the way.
Wonderful. Sorry, am I smiling too much?
No, not at all. I think it's kind of nice looking, actually.
Thanks. Does my hair look weird with this skin tone? They
No.
always said my hair looked weird, but it was an accident, so whatever.
I think it actually suits you pretty well.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Onwards to Florica. Am I right?
Make
Bernie?
make a perception check.
That was a 17.
17. You notice that ever since you turned on that glamour, Bernie has been blushing around you a little bit.
Oh.
Rut-row.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's not
That
good.
is good. That's bad.
Moo's gonna break this boy's heart.
Mm-hmm.
They have no interest in something like that.
None.
Oh, you're a very nice person, but...
I can just imagine it.
It's just like 7 different tones of
Yeah.
It just keeps going up and down and then up and down and then down and then up.
Oh no.
Good old Mur'ca'lu'mi. Well,
Yeah.
so the caravan will travel to the northeast, northwest. Now you're on your way to Florica.
Florica. Oh.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I can die now.
And you see a reasonably sized settlement in the distance, and it appears that Moo's life is getting a bit more interesting by the day, now that they're no longer tethered down by 2 insane people, and they kind of have...
Oh my god, how much collecting Moo can do fucking on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of it.
And all the note-taking. Oh!
In fact, during the journey, Bernie is going to offer to carry things for you, so...
Oh, that would be perfect.
Thank you. He's now got a backpack full of, air quotes, samples. Which is essentially everything from, like...
Dirt
to, like, pine cones to, like, very small rocks.
You know, Moo is smart enough to where I think they could at least make some of that work.
I certainly hope so.
I'm going to have to start developing potions that actually work on... Well, you're called a human, right?
He nods.
Okay. I need to start working on potions that work on humans, because I've only really experimented on dark elves. I really didn't want a slave originally. Because, so I mostly experimented on myself. But I should probably make sure that our chemistry is about the same when I'm doing this, you know?
He nods.
I don't want to accidentally poison you. So I'll kind of test on me with the potions that I know are safe, and then I'll test on you right after to see if it works the same. And I have all the... And Moo you just hear all these clinking of little bottles. I have all the antidotes just in case.
He kind of nods along politely and looks a little bit scared, but he still seems to be quite happy traveling with you.
I promise you, my intent is not to hurt you. It's more for science. Not hurting you in the name of science, but just learning from you and your body.
He's pretty happy hearing that.
Oh no.
Alright, so the 2 of you travel toward Florica with the rest of the caravan, and we will fade to black. So you are tired, a little hungry, kind of annoyed, and also at the same time curious about your surroundings. Is that enough clues?
It's either Jaculus or Paydor. I think it's Jaculus, if it's annoyance.
Jaculus it is!
Okay.
So the last time we left off with Jackie, you and Pidge were in the city of Zareth.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
I don't think Jaculus knew what city it was.
Oh, really? I thought we went over that.
I can't remember.
I think that was at least player knowledge knew that, right?
Yeah, I know it's there.
Yeah, I told you it was. Yeah, I told you it was Zareth. Okay, yeah. I mean,
I didn't
Jaculus
know if
probably doesn't know.
Pidge told Jaculus where they were. He assumes they're in Ville right now.
Fair enough.
Because everyone is speaking Villish.
At least it's a dialect. All right. Well, so I believe the last thing that happened is you guys left the town, and then Pidge is like, "I'm hungry and tired. Let's go back to town and sleep."
Well, also because she was like, "Why didn't you talk to any of them? Do you know where we're going?" And Jaculus was like, "I have no fucking idea what they were saying." And Pidge was like, "Oh, really? I do." Idiot. And so Jaculus was like, "And we go back inside the town now. Sup,
All right.
bitches?"
So we'll start the scene then with Jaculus and Pidge re-entering this city from the north.
Okay.
It is evening, and you're coming in through that northern road off the Roughborough district.
Okay. So, where do we start? Jaculus went back into the village, and now, since I leveled up, and I'm gonna play this off a little bit. I know I took a linguistics skill so that he could speak Village, but yes. I think, playing-wise, I think he's going to be listening to what everyone's saying first before he fully gets it. Anyways, start me off, bud.
Okay. So you've come in through the north, and you're moving down the street. The sun is low in the sky, and there is a number of rough-looking individuals lining the streets, either conducting some sort of business or talking to each other. They all look like they're wearing fairly downtrodden clothes, and the majority of them are human, but there's a fair number of non-humans mixed in, both of the goblinoid races as well as halflings, gnomes, and half-elves.
Okay. And
not many dwarves around here.
do any of them have the same symbol that those guys who had us in cages do on their rough-looking clothing?
Give me a perception check, please.
Okay, because I'm going to beat the crap out of them. Let's see. A 13.
So as you're traveling through, people are definitely stopping to look at you as you're moving up because, I mean, one, you're very, very blue.
Yeah.
And two,
I'm hot.
are... Yeah, that's it. That's what they're interested in.
I'm hot.
Yeah, of course.
Jaculus is the hottest snake guy you ever done seen, okay?
Yeah.
You hear?
Yeah, that's it. So a lot of the people are like looking at you and they're not really sure what to say or do, but they're just kind of like eyeing you from a distance.
And Jaculus is carrying Pidge around wherever he's going.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah. He picked up Pidge last time and is just carrying her now. This is gonna be a thing.
Good. Good.
I am her Aunt Yaya. Why wouldn't I carry her?
Of course.
She's like an adorable little accessory. So, Sweetness. You said you were hungry?
Yeah, if it's not too much trouble. I haven't eaten in a while, or anything really good. I mean, the rations those guys gave us were not very good.
Oh, Sweetness, I know. Don't worry, I took money from them, so the dinner's on them.
She gives you a big smile.
So, all we gotta do is find a food place, and then we'll have some nosh, you know?
Alright, so the two of you travel south into the city, and after a short time, you see what appears to be a raucous-looking tavern. It is called The Bitter Drink. It has a fair number of people in and around it. If you would like to go into that tavern, you are welcome to. If not, you can continue searching.
Does this look safe enough?
Pidge shrugs.
I don't know what these lands are like, and everything seems a little more dirty here. Just saying. Just from where I'm from.
Well, I mean, it's worth a look, I guess.
Sure. Alright. And Jaculus slithers in.
Alright.
Looking like the diva that he is.
Alright. Jaculus goes into the Bitter Drink. Alright, so this is a fairly large tavern. It's actually a multi-leveled affair. It's got 3 levels. It's got a wide open, forum area with a balcony on the 2nd and 3rd floor over the middle of the place. There's long tables across the 1st floor. There is a fairly decently sized stage off to one side that currently has a couple of people playing music on it. There are a fair number of attendees at this place, of patrons. You figure, just as a quick, rough look around the place, maybe 50 or 60 total in here. And at the bar, there's a couple of bartenders, and there's also a small fleet of tavern wenches, for lack of a better term, of staff, wait staff, running around. And like in the outside of this place, there is a pretty strange mix of races in here. Because you don't often see goblinoids in cities, at least back where you were from, back in Sejun. You would not really see goblinoids in towns, especially in areas where dwarves existed. Because there's a lot more dwarves that lived in Sejun than out here. There's almost none. And it's pretty much, they don't really commingle. So this is apparently an area where goblinoids are tolerated to a certain degree. When I say goblinoids, I mean hobgoblins and goblins.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Want to make sure that we're clear on that. So, you've got your small race that's green-skinned, and then you've got your medium race that is more of an orange skin.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I'll fit right in. I'm colorful too.
All right. So as you walk in, you see that there
I do not
are...
walk in. I slither.
You know what? That's a fair point. I'll restate. As you slither in, you look around and you see an interesting mix of races, and they all sort of stop and regard you. And in fact, the musicians even sort of stop for a second as they see you come in. So there's sort of just this moment of silence in the entire tavern. And then the music kicks on a second later, and people go back about their day after they're done kind of giving you that curious look that you are kind of used to at this point.
Jaculus is all smiles. He is a diva and loves attention anyways. So, hair flip, elevator eyes to anyone who caught his gaze, and then a slither forward with some good old hip swings. Jaculus is gonna go to the front, I guess, and request a table?
Okay. You go to the front and request a table. You're speaking to a waitstaff or a bartender?
Jaculus wouldn't be able to tell the difference, I don't think, right now.
All right. Is it a person on the floor or a person behind a bar?
Person behind the bar. A bartender.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so you go to the bar, and the barkeep will look at you and ask what business, looks at you and goes, "You drink?"
Oh, ooh, not me. Hester, do you want a drink?
Her eyes kind of light up. Yeah, I'd like to try one.
Sure. What kind of flavors do you like? Do you like sweet or bitter or want to get fucked up?
She kind of bites her lip. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've never really drank a whole lot before.
Okay, get her something sweet, please. And me too, actually. I might as well. If you're drinking, I'm gonna drink.
The barkeep will nod and go over, and he'll return with an open-topped vessel that it's almost like a vase-shaped thing, but it's made of clear glass.
It's kind of fluted. It's a fluted...
It's a little bit, yeah. It's like a fluted pitcher. And it's filled with a red, syrupy-looking substance.
Ooh, fancy.
And he sets it down in front of you and says, that'll be for the bottle. Unless you wanted just a drink.
Oh, no, might as well. You already got us the container. We'll just take it. How much? Oh, and can we ask for a meal too? Two meals?
He points a table nearby and says, "Sit there, and the barmaid will be right by."
Thank you, sweetheart.
He kind of gives you a once up and down, and he kind of gives you a smile.
Jaculus will give a wink back. Come on, sweetness. We're gonna go sit down and eat, okay? Jaculus will grab the pitcher and slither on over to the table.
All right. You move over to a table, and it's like the seats here are sort of bench-style seats. So they don't really work much for your body type, but you can probably find a somewhat comfortable way to wedge yourself over there.
I can wrap around situations easily enough.
That's fair.
Very flexible.
Of course you are.
Fucking Jaculus, I love him!
Alright, so just so we have a visual indicator, the barkeep that was speaking to you looks to be in his maybe mid-30s. He has sort of dark tanned skin, a well-kept facial hair, and he wears lots of jewelry.
Ooh, that is Jaculus's type. Fuck, man. Hot damn. Yes.
And then a few moments later, a Villish woman will come by and set down some glasses for the two of you. She is a human female, probably in her late 20s, maybe mid-20s. She's got like a straw-colored hair, and she's wearing a low-cut, corseted dress.
Gotcha.
As one would come to expect from a establishment like this.
A German barmaid?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. That's sort of about right, yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that barkeep, though. So she sets down those glasses, right? Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Well, the pleasure's all mine.
What kind of food do you have here, anyways?
Oh, we have, well, there's some good mutton in the back that's cooked up. We've also got, well, there's got some fowl that we made into a stew. So if you wanted like a... She basically explains that they've got like this turkey stew. They've also got mutton, and then they've also got like dried and processed meats of various types. So they've got like dried sausages and things like that.
Sweetness, you can have whatever you want. Just pick.
Oh, she'll go on to order a pretty hefty portioning of food, more than you would expect her to be able to, being of her size.
I'll have something light.
Okay. They have some fresh caught fish.
Ooh, yeah, I'll
that
have
they
that.
can serve over rice.
Yeah, that'll be. Jaculus will have that definitely.
Okay. So she goes off and leaves the two of you at the table. You can definitely see that Hester is looking at this red liquid in front of her, and she's kind of like, she seems at the same time curious and scared of it.
Do you want me to pour that for you?
If you wouldn't mind.
Sure. And Jaculus will pour one out for her as well as himself. Do you want me to drink it first? So you know it's not poisoned?
Hey, I don't think it's poisoned. I mean, nobody here knows who we are, so why would they poison us?
True. But you look a little concerned, Sweetness.
I've never drank before. I've heard about it from lots of folks, and, well, my sister, she's talked about it before. I never really had this before, but kind of always been curious. What do you think it'll do?
Oh, I think it'll taste a little weird to you at first. Whenever people start drinking, they think it tastes like the worst thing ever, so that's why I got you a little something sweeter, so it could go down a little easier. But, let's see, depending on how much you drink and your tolerance, you're probably gonna have a low one since you haven't drank before, you're gonna feel a little tingly, probably.
Wow, you know a lot about this.
I know a lot about lots of things. Remember, I'm a goddess.
So lucky to have met you.
I know, Sweetness.
Well, bottoms up, I guess.
Cheers.
She picks up the glass, both of her wings, and she reaches it forward and taps it against yours.
Oh, sweet little harpy baby.
And then she takes a cautious sip.
Jaculus is watching.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to drink it, you're going to watch?
Well, the glass is at his lips, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
more just watching that Hester's okay, pretty much.
Okay. She takes a curious sip of the drink, stops for a second, kind of licks her lips, kind of makes like a lip smacking noise a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes back in for a second drink.
I think she likes it. Alright, Jaculus will knock his back then.
Okay, so the best way I would describe this is it is a heavy, syrupy alcohol. It is what would be known in modern day as a cordial. It is made from rendered down fruit, and it's typically very thick because they remove a lot of excess water out of it, so it tends to be syrupy.
Just like Jaculus.
But it's also it's extremely thick and fairly alcoholic, but it also has a wonderfully sweet flavor. So it's essentially, in this case, like drinking cherries.
So it's kind of like jungle juice?
Imagine a thick jungle juice.
Thick jungle juice. Ooh.
Yeah, like the consistency of like a cough medicine. So it's like a
Interesting.
thicker.
I don't
it's
think I've ever had a
thicker
cordial.
cordial. Yeah, you ever heard of like a cherry cordial?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I
There's
guess
an
I'll have
ice
to
cream
try that
flavor.
now.
Yeah, there's an ice cream flavor named after it. That's more that's more known to modern people than the actual alcohol. But
Interesting.
cordials were a type of alcohol made in the medieval era, and it's something that just sort of fell by the wayside when other alcohols were more popular. But
You know
yeah.
so much.
eh. So cordials are just a type of liquor that can be made from fruits, and this one is made from cherries, and it's like a sweet, syrupy alcohol, and it's very sweet and very tasty. It only has the very slightest hint that it's burning you when you drink it.
Ooh, not bad at all then.
Mm-hmm. Just enough to give it kind of a kick.
That's... Yeah, they're gonna get fucked up tonight.
But yeah, Pidge is like takes a second sip of it. Like I said, it was bigger than the first, and she says, "This is really good.
Hell
is it
yeah,
always
it
this
is.
good?"
No. No, whoever made this is amazing. This is delicious. Jaculus will do a slight lean back to look at the barkeep with a smile.
Give me a perception check.
Yes! Because we all know he did so well last time. 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 7. That's a 7.
Wasn't that
you
one,
look up.
technically?
Yeah, you look up, and you actually can't see the barkeep currently.
Oh, that's too bad. Jaculus will pout for a second and then turn back to Hester. I am so excited for you to get your food so you feel all strong again.
Thanks. This has been a really weird and stressful time.
I'm sure it is.
Wow, this stuff is good. She takes a longer sip.
Yeah, don't... take your time with that.
She finishes her first glass.
Oh, God.
She sets it down and kind of like lets out like a long... Oh, wow. If I knew it was that good, I would have tried this a long time ago.
Again, not all of them taste that good, Sweetness. It's just... This one's very, very nice. Whoever made it is probably an expert.
Can I have another glass?
Yeah. Let me pour you out another one. And Jaculus hesitantly pours out another one. He's a little concerned. Here you go, Sweetness.
Thank you.
Pace yourself.
What? She says as she says what and then takes a first sip.
But pace yourself.
Oh,
Don't go too fast or you'll probably regret it. It hits fast after a while.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
I do. Concerned Jaculus does.
So, a few minutes will pass then, as Pidge slows down slightly and comments a lot about how well she likes the flavor. And eventually a barmaid will return and set down a couple of plates in front of you. You see what looks like a large fish that has been split in half, grilled, and then like laid out on your plate. So it looks like 2 fish fillets. But it's just the one fish split in half, laid out over a bed of rice.
Okay.
And the rice has some sort of herbs mixed into it.
Ah, lovely. Thank you. How much for everything, dear?
Oh, we'll take care of that at the end.
Oh, all right.
She probably is going to call you Sugar or Honey or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And she may even like touch your shoulder slightly as she says that. Just because. That's just the way she's...
No, I get it. I've worked at a bar.
Yeah.
It's just the atmosphere. You just act that way no matter who it is.
Exactly. She also sets down a couple of things in front of Pidge. She sets down a bowl of poultry stew. She sets down a plate of sausages with some sort of roasted vegetable next to it, like a green, a couple of parsnips, a baked potato, and a salad. Pidge ordered a lot.
She did, but she is a Pidge, ain't you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me as a player is not surprised. Jaculus is like, what the fuck?
So she takes another long drink of her drink and then starts tearing into her food at a ravenous pace.
And Jaculus is like cutting up his food, you know, making sure everything's sized right, eating it very delicately, and just slowly becoming more and more concerned as his meal is just being eaten at a normal pace, and Pidge is like devouring hers.
Yeah.
How's the food, Sweetness?
It's really good. I haven't had a meal like this in a while. Oh man, so hungry. Oh, so hungry. She goes back to eating. The soup is.
Yeah.
The soup is. Really, it's such good work with this.
Concerned sipping of alcoholic drink from Jaculus.
You notice? Well, make a perception, please.
Oh yeah, because I did so good with that nat 1 last time. Oh, hey, 22!
So you notice a couple things. You notice that young Hester is beginning to sway slightly.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
As she's eating. And you also notice that every so often, between each couple of mouthfuls of food, she's taking another sip of her drink, and she has finished a second glass. You also notice that the barkeep has returned, and he is helping some people by the bar but you get the feeling that he's stealing a glance at you every so often.
So, lean back over the shoulder. Just side face, not full turn, just side face and side eye with a smile, and then turning back to Hester a couple of times here and there.
Mm-hmm. To kind of pose a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, Sweetness.
Yeah?
Yeah, would you... I'm gonna go get you some water, okay?
Oh, I can't. I would just. Can I have another glass of this? It's really good. She goes and reaches for the pitcher, and starts to try to pick it up, and it's a little bit hard to lift with her lack of hands, and it's kind of starting to like sway back and forth.
Jaculus will grab it.
Can you make a reflex save, please?
Oh yeah. Ooh, 10.
Ooh, 10.
Ooh, 10.
Okay. You hit the side of it, and you sort of, instead of catching it, you end up knocking it the other direction.
Oh god.
You know, if you go to try to steady something and you fuck it up and it just bounces the other way, and you just everything kind of goes slow-mo for a second.
This is so not cash money.
As it kind of like starts to careen the opposite direction and start to move down the table.
I've got 4 fucking arms. Can I try again?
Yeah, you can try again.
You got this, Jaculus. Oh, that was a nat 20, 27.
Alright, so with one of your secondary arms, you catch it with no problem. In fact, you end up making it look like you were gracefully passing it to yourself.
I think that's enough for you. Do you see how much you're wobbling, Sweetness?
Oh, I'm not wobbling. I get excited when I eat food. She kind of like bounces a little bit back and forth. She holds the glass up and holds it out to you. More, please.
I'll pour her out half.
She kind of frowns at the half and keeps holding the glass.
Look, I just want to make sure you're okay. This is your first time drinking. You don't know how it'll affect you.
I feel fine.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
She frowns and sets the glass down close to her.
If you still are okay by the end of that drink, you can have some more, okay? I just have to do a little test before that.
Okay.
She's pouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her feathers are kind of like poofing up a little bit.
Oh my
too.
god. Pidge, you sweet little thing.
So she has finished off the poultry stew, and she is working her way through the sausages and greens.
Jaculus is still sipping on his first drink.
I mean, it is tasty.
Yeah. Like, why would I waste that?
Alright. So what is Jaculus doing?
Well, I guess he'll slowly but surely finish his meal while still checking up on that barkeep from time to time.
Okay. Give me one more perception check.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna fail this one, I bet.
Maybe.
Oh, or 24. That's fine. I'll take it.
Alright, cool. So what I'd like you to do now is make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
And this is for your preening and posing.
Ooh, 15?
So as you're preening and posing for the barkeep, he is going to be like you said, you think he's like stealing a look at you every so often.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that he definitely looks over at you. You like lock eyes for a second, and he gives you a wink back.
Jaculus is gonna rest one of his fingers / end of his nail lightly on his lips, pull it forward and let it go. Smile and then turn back to Hester. He's a tease.
She's finishing up her second plate of food,
Jesus.
and she's now moving on to the salad.
I think Jaculus has finally finished up most of the fish and is now just kind of enjoying the rice.
Wonder if they have anything for dessert.
Oh, you're still hungry? You should probably wait till you finish all of your meal, Sweetness.
Hear her sigh as she continues to shovel vegetables down her throat.
Jaculus has one hand on his temple. It's just sitting there going, how the fuck? Where is she putting this food?
Yeah, you think that at this point she's eaten probably 3 full meals worth of food, and she's not really slowing down at all.
Bitch gonna eat me out of house and home.
So she finishes she finishes off her food right around the same time that you're kind of probably finishing your first plate.
Yeah.
And she looks up and says, "Could we maybe get a second round or dessert? Maybe
We can get dessert."
She kind of like puffs up a little bit, but this time it appears to be a gesture of happiness, not not being perturbed like it was last time.
Jaculus will look around for one of the barmaids and make a little princess wave.
Mm-hmm.
If
All right, so
he
the
catches
barmaid will...
someone's eyes.
Yeah, you catch a barmaid. One comes by in a little bit and asks if you needed anything else.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had any desserts.
Oh, we have some pie.
Jaculus looks over to Hester. Pie?
Sure, yeah. Pie would be fine.
She'll take a pie.
The barmaid nods, walks back to the kitchen, and then comes back almost immediately after that and sets down an entire cherry pie between the two of you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's no problem at all. There's like 2 forks stuck in it.
Oh, awesome. Jaculus is going to reach over, because I assume he's finally finished his meal, and possibly one drink. He's gonna take a little stab at that cherry pie. I myself would fucking hate this.
But you're being a good role player.
I am.
I knew as soon as I said pie, I was like, oh, Keni gonna hate this.
Look, Jaculus has a taste for the sweet, so this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like it.
So the crust is crispy and gray, like glazed with sugar, like sugar crystals on it. It's wonderful. As far as pies go, this is tops.
That's good.
And the cherries are almost exactly like the cordial that you were drinking, except it's not alcoholic.
Okay.
But you get the sense they probably came from the same place.
So, eating some little bites of the pie. Jaculus is going to pour himself another drink, actually, since he finished his first one. What is Hester doing?
She grabs the fork best she can, and she starts to shovel pie into her mouth. She tries to say this is really good, but it comes out, this is really good.
Yeah, it is. What's your favorite fruit, Hester?
Oh, I've been a fan of berry plums. I kind of like all of them. I don't like grapes very much. Right? So I should have off. I think it's really nice. Oh, apples? I like apples.
Oh. Maybe I'll grab us a snack for on the road later.
She gives you like a smile and starts to chomp down the pie more.
Jesus Christ.
She looks to her empty glass and looks to you.
You gotta give me a walk. You gotta walk from the end of this table to the other end to prove to me that you can have more.
She swallows hard. I can do better than that. I'll fly.
Wait. Maybe just walk.
She hops up on the bench. She's kind of like tapping her way across the bench.
Hester.
And she kind of has her tail out for balance.
Yeah, Jaculus's tail is slowly going around to catch her just in case.
She opens her wings out and she's like, where do you want me to go to? I can fly really well.
I just said one end of the table to the other, Sweetness. You don't...
Oh. She turns around and walks back across the bench.
Was she wobbly at all?
I mean, a little bit, but you feel like having her wings and tail out for balance is really helping her out.
All right. You can have another. Jaculus will pour a drink out for Hester.
She does little bird hops.
There is still a tail that is behind Hester's bench currently, just in case. Well, I think Jaculus probably ate enough to be a small slice of a pie equivalent for amount, and he'll just push it forward. And that's enough food for me. I have to work on my figure after all.
Whatever you say, I think your figure's fine.
I know. But
Pidge
I gotta
will...
make sure I maintain,
Pidge will annihilate the rest of the pie.
Jesus Christ!
She lets out a reasonably loud belch and then plops down on the bench. She's waiting patiently as she looks at her glass and looks at you.
I already poured her one.
Oh, my apologies. In that case, she knocks that back pretty quickly.
Sipping on his second drink. Just slowly shaking his head.
Make a perception check, please.
Okay. This only makes me nervous every time now.
As well it should.
Ooh, 23!
You sense someone walking up behind you. You ever get the feeling when someone walks up behind you?
Yeah, I hate it.
You can either hear the footsteps or just sort of sense their presence, but you feel someone has walked up behind you.
So, I imagine Jaculus has his lower hands propped up on the table with their elbows propping his chin while he has one hand holding up his drink and sipping it.
Sure.
I imagine one of the lower hands will, I guess, on his left side, and then the right hand will slowly turn his head over to the left to see who's walking up. While he's still sipping.
Yeah. So you move up, and you see the barkeep has moved up behind you.
Why, hello there.
Hello yourself. I see you enjoyed the cordial.
Oh, it was delicious. It still is. A lick of the
Glad to
lips.
hear. Doesn't appear to be the only thing.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Oh, I was referring to the pie.
Oh, yeah.
He gives you a grin as he says that.
Slight blush by Jaculus, so a bit of a head turn away.
Question.
Yeah.
If Jaculus' skin tone is blue,
Yes.
what color is Jaculus' blood?
Oh, it would probably be like a purplish color.
Purplish?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Either that or a darker blue.
Gotcha. Well, I'd say you pick.
I'm gonna go
It's your
with
pick.
purple.
Purple. All right.
Purple blush happening.
We don't often get anyone quite as exotic as yourself.
Oh, there really isn't anyone like me to begin with.
That I can believe. Would you care for another?
Of what?
He's gesturing toward the now empty vessel on your table.
Sweetness, do you want more?
She looks up and gives you a big grin, and she's like nodding very enthusiastically.
I think we can have more.
All right, I'll be right back then.
Thank you.
He turns and heads back over to the bar.
One of his hands is on the table and does one of those the finger taps, and he looks like he's grinning. I love people.
Do you think we'll stay the night here?
Do you want to?
Pidge shrugs. I mean, the place is awfully big.
Well, we can if you want to. Today is your day, Sweetness, so we can do whatever you want.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Besides, the most I have to look forward to is getting back to a village to beat some bitches' faces in.
It was really mean what they did.
I know.
I mean, I'll help you beat their faces in as much as I can.
Sweetness. Sure.
Yay!
Actually, I think that would probably be the most interesting thing during that time. Oh, yes. I would love to see you beat their faces in.
She's kind of like tapping her feet on the ground, tapping her talons. So you can hear like the clicks on the stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like excitedly tapping. At that point, the barkeep will come back around and he'll set down another fluted vase in front of you. And he leans down extra close to you when he does it.
What does he smell like? Look, people smell distinctively. If someone's gonna get that close, you know you're gonna end up smelling them anyways. I don't know why everyone thinks it's really weird when I ask that about Siva.
I mean, go ahead and give me a perception check. I'll
Yes!
tell you what you smell.
Maybe I'm just a creepy person, 24.
Yeah, maybe you're just a creepy person and you smell people when they're close to you.
Do you not?
I mean, not really.
I feel like people's smells are super, like, in my face constantly whenever I'm just next to them.
I'm sorry, I
think I
don't
just
really,
have a sensitive
I think you might have a
nose.
sensitive nose, yeah. Because most people's noses aren't that great. And unless there's like a strong odor, they can't really smell anything.
Oh no, I can smell people like all the time.
Interesting.
I thought everyone else did.
No, not really.
Oh.
It's a superpower for you. Think about that.
Just like my taste buds, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm really sensitive to a lot of flavors and smells normally. Like if I go into a
That's
candle shop, if I smell something, I can taste it, which gives me a headache immediately because it's disgusting.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I smell people.
Fair enough. In that case, he smells like worked leather and cherries.
Hot. Okay. Thank you for delivering it yourself. You're too kind.
He sort of stays like bent over next to you, and he kind of looks at you and says, "This one's on me."
I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you. Is there anything I can do to repay you? Even if it is on you? A little wink.
He says, "I think that's exactly it."
I see.
Not sure if that entendre comes right through or not.
Well, it is a different language for...
Let's see. Even if it is on you.
I
So
think I
he's gonna-
understand what you're doing, but I think...
Yeah, so Yeah, he's going to basically say that being on him is the way to repay the favor.
Gotcha.
Basically, he's going to say it much better than that.
Well,
I'm just having problems framing that in my brain.
that's okay. Besides, this is a completely new language for Jaculus, so
Yeah.
I'm sure some of it he's translating in his head and being like, okay, yeah. Okay, I think that's what he means. He's a smart guy, Jaculus.
Oh, for sure. He's going to say that and then go back over to the bar.
Jaculus is just biting his lip and looks real happy.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What does what mean?
What you were just saying to that barkeep.
Oh, I said I might have sex with him later.
She coughs and, like, does a bit of a spit take. Oh, I mean, alright,
Oh, is that too forward? Do people not like that? I'm sorry, sex is a completely normal thing from where I'm from.
I mean, I know that it's supposed to be normal for me too. It's just something that I've never really had a lot of experience with.
Do you want to? You don't have to, you know.
Well, I mean, it's part of what's expected of me.
Why?
Well, that's how we carry on as a people. We lay eggs, and you know, there's more of us later, and that's sort of how things work. I mean, my mom had me and my sister, and it's sort of like a normal thing to, you know, find partners sort of out in the world. She's kind of like stumbling over her words.
She's drunk.
She's drunk and she's trying to explain harpy sexuality. And she's doing a terrible job of it.
Great. Okay.
And, you know, sometimes you meet a person and they seem like they're a good fit, and then, you know, you spend time with them after they agree to a price, and then you go on and you have an egg, and then that egg hatches into a daughter, and then, you know, you have a kid after that. And then you and your partner raise it, and it's supposed to be really nice. And I don't think I'll ever have a partner.
Why not?
Nobody likes pigeons.
Yeah, Gillis just looks at her. I'm sorry, I might be missing something. You're a harpy, right?
She nods slowly with like a frown on her face. Yeah,
So, what's a pigeon?
I am.
Jaculus leans back a little, has one hand propped under his chin in kind of a fist. Hester,
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with you. Not from my point of view.
I mean, I think that there's a lot wrong with me, personally, but
Maybe the kidnap
Appreci-
part, but that's about it. That wasn't your fault.
and the egg thing.
They
don't
did that
understand
to
that.
you. Don't blame yourself.
But I was messed up before they ever found me. I eat too much, and I don't fly very fast, and I don't think I'm ever gonna have a partner because nobody likes pigeons.
Uh-oh.
You can see that she's starting to cry.
Look, most people who
Because
aren't
we're
harpies don't even know. Don't even
We're
know.
small,
No.
and we're fat.
No, you're
We
beautiful.
eat too
Wait,
much.
Hester, please. You drank too much and now you're getting emotional. This is normal.
It was really good though.
Yeah, it was. This is your
No,
first time. It's okay.
The other vase is sitting there full,
Yeah.
and she's gonna reach for it.
One of the lower arms is gonna try to reach for it to pull it back away from
Okay, you get to it before she does, and it just, I don't know. I heard I'm not used to it. My sister, she's used to it.
Used to what?
She gets flirted with all the time, and
What
it
makes her so much better than you? You're amazing, Hester.
My sister's beautiful, tall, and she's got bright colored feathers.
Yeah,
well,
well, I'm sure.
All the other harpies, they hit on her. Maybe
Yeah.
she doesn't even notice.
Maybe
'Cause
not.
She's never even really done anything with any of them, so it's my fault. It's
No.
so
Sweetness, no, none of this is your fault. All of this is just accidents and coincidences of reality.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like an accident. It seems like I'm being punished.
Sweetness.
Can I have more, please?
Are you sure that's a good idea? You seem to be very emotional right now, and, you know...
It makes me feel good, okay?
He had his mouth open and then a slow close. One more, and then you're going to bed, okay?
Okay.
Jaculus will pour a drink out for her and fill up the rest of his, because I think he was getting low to his second one.
Mm-hmm. So she starts to drink it. She wipes the tears from her eyes, and it seems to improve her mood slightly.
That's good. Am I being a bad guardian right now? I don't know. Oh, like Jaculus is just sitting there beside himself like this is a 28-year-old. What is happening? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a room for you for the night, okay?
Okay.
Just
Thank
stay
you.
here, alright?
I'll stay right here.
Thank you. And he'll awkwardly get off the bench because, of course, he had to work his way onto the damn thing. And he'll go up to the counter. And he looks a little exasperated at this point.
Alright. So the barkeep notices you moving up because, of course, he's been watching you.
Who wouldn't?
Says, any problem?
Oh, no problem. I was wondering if I could get a room for my friend for the evening. She's a bit of out of sorts for the rest of the night, I think, and needs some rest.
He gives you a slow nod. Just your friend?
Well, I think I have something to repay at some point, so if you would rather it be both of us, that's fine.
A room for just your friend would be fine. And again, we'll call it on the house.
You got it.
He reaches down and hands you a brass key. Has a number emblazoned on it. The number is 3.
Jaculus will lightly pick it up. I'll probably be back down in a little bit after I get her to bed.
I look forward to more conversation.
As do I. And Jaculus will slither back with a little bit more of a hip sway.
As you turn around,
Oh god. Oh no.
you hear the sound of glass shattering.
Jaculus just turns around and just takes one gold piece out and just puts it on the bar. Maybe not on the house.
He's going to reach forward and he's going to put his hand on yours and he's going to give you a gentle smile as he takes the gold piece.
Whew, boy, this is working well for Jaculus. A friendly wink. Oh, a friendly wink. And then he slowly turns, sighs, and then slithers over to Hester.
As you approach, there's the overwhelming scent of cherries, and Hester is like beside herself right now. Her wings are like trembling. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm
Sweetness,
so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Come here. And Jaculus will hold his arms out for Hester to go into them.
She jumps into a hug.
It's alright.
So sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine, Sweetness. Come on, let's get you to bed, okay?
Such a mess up.
I'm assuming there's stairs for these rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Jaculus will slither up the stairs.
Alright, you head up the stairs and you find the rooms all marked with numbers. You find room number 3, and the key will open the door there. And inside you find a simple bed and some basic accoutrement.
Accoutrement. Alright, Jaculus is going to slither over to the bed and gently set Hester down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sweetness. We're in this together. We're both in a very odd coincidence in life, and we're simply just going to get through it. Alright?
Yeah, she like sits up. I don't feel normal right now.
Well, that's the alcohol, sweetheart.
Okay.
Do you need to throw up?
She like looks like very serious for a second. Is that what happens?
Yeah, when you drink too much, you throw up.
Oh, I don't feel right.
Okay. Jaculus is going to pick her up and bring her to whatever sort of, like, I don't know, chamber pot or bathroom or whatever.
Okay. As you move closer, she kind of doubles forward and she's like clutching her abdomen, and she puts a wing out to like ward you away. And she's like, "No, stay back."
Jaculus is gonna slither back and slowly close the door behind him.
She's gonna start crying.
Can I come back now?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Alright, so he's gonna slither back into the room. I think he was just faced away, if anything. Is there an egg on the bed?
It's on the floor. She like fell out of bed first. Yeah, there is a brown egg on the floor. It's reasonably large sized, somewhere smaller than an ostrich egg, but still reasonably big.
Alright.
It's like probably the size of a fist.
You want me to get rid of it, sweetness?
Guess. I just don't understand.
Look, whatever those people had in their food messed you up badly. It's not your fault.
She nods slowly. Okay.
Do you still feel sick?
No. I'm gonna try to sleep. Okay.
Alright. Is there any place in this room to get water?
There is a pitcher with water.
Alright. Jaculus is gonna pour one out for her and put it beside her.
Okay. It's like a wooden mug.
Okay.
A little wooden cup, I should say.
Yeah, he's gonna fill that shit up. Don't trust her with pitchers.
There's a brown egg on the floor.
Do you want me to get rid of it?
She shrugs and lays down, like looking defeated.
Alright, Jaculus is gonna put a blanket over her.
Mm-hmm.
And then scoop up the egg and leave the room and lock it behind him.
Alright.
What do you do with it?
So you're outside looking out into the main area of the bitter drink, and it's still pretty raucous. Now there's a bigger musical act that's playing on the stage. You see people have kind of started to congregate down into the center of the building, and the long tables in front of the stage that's near the bar. What would you like to do?
Oh god, I guess I'll go back down the stairs with an egg.
Okay.
Looking concerned and unsure what to do with it.
Alright, move to the bottom of the stairs, and there's a fairly large crowd in the center of the place. They're filling up all of the tables in the middle of the room, and they're clapping along to a raucous and probably adult-themed song being played
I'm glad Hester isn't here.
by the bards on the stage.
Nice. He nods along, and I guess he looks for some place to throw garbage out in.
Okay. Look around, and you do see a bin over... There's a couple bins around the room, various places
Alright.
that you think are probably for rubbish.
He's gonna dispose of the egg in one of them.
Okay. You toss it in.
Turn back to the bar.
Alright, you see the barkeep is pushing drinks to people at a furious pace. There's a couple other barkeeps as well, but I know the one you're...
Oh, well, I sure hope so.
He's pushing different drinks. You know.
Well, Jaculus doesn't want to bug him, per se. Like, if he's busy. So he's just gonna sit down at one of the seats, if possible, at the bar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, at the bar? Okay.
All right. Are there bar seats?
Yeah, there's stools.
Okay.
So imagine you kind of do like a wrap around
Yeah.
the stool. As you do that, eventually the barkeep is going to move over and get over to you, and he's going to say, "So, what do you drink?"
Well, what you had earlier was very sweet, but I actually don't drink that often. What would you think if you looked at me? What would I like normally?
You give me a minute. He takes a long look at you, up and down,
Of course
getting
he
the
does.
color of your hair, the color of your eyes, the color of your skin, and even the color of your blush. And he turns around and starts to grab various colored bottles of alcohols off the back wall behind the bar. He grabs bins that had little chunks of fruit cut up in it, and he starts to work. He pours all of these into a tall glass and sets them in front of you, and the concoction that he has placed in front of you is a red, blue, and gold cocktail that's layered and garnished with some sort of golden glittery substance.
My. Now this is interesting. It's probably the best drink I've ever seen.
I would name it, but I'm not sure what yours is.
My name's Jackie.
Well, then this, he slides it toward you, is a Jackie.
Thank you very much. Jaculus will lean forward quite a bit to pick that up, even though he has plenty of arm ability to do so. And then he pulls back. And he'll take a sip.
Alright. It appears to be a mix of various fruited liqueurs. So there's like a blueberry, a raspberry, cherry, and it sort of has the consistency of like a vodka. So it's it's much lighter than the syrupy beverage you were drinking before.
That's good.
And it is also stronger.
Nice.
By a fair bit.
Let's get fucked up! Can we talk about Jaculus's fortitude for a second?
Yeah, let's have him roll one, please.
He has a +1 to his fortitude, guys.
Yeah.
9!
So that was from your first drink. I'd like you to make another one for your second drink. This is because you had 2 glasses
Two
of
glasses. 3!
All right, cool. And then this one, I'd like you to make another fortitude save.
6.
All right. So that is 3 drinks, and all 3 of them have affected you to the probably maximum potential they could. So
Woo!
you find yourself at the point of drunkenness where lights are kind of streaky,
Uh-huh.
and you just kind of want to see everything around you. You're like observant drunk,
Gotcha.
right?
Not party girl drunk yet?
I mean, you're getting there. Maybe once you finish this drink, you'll be a party girl drunk.
That's true. Now this is delicious.
The barkeep is going to move over in front of you again. He's going to lean down, and he's going to move his hand onto one of your lesser hands that's on the ground, that's on the bar. And he's going to say, I was inspired.
Me as a player, you.
Oh, wow, okay.
Sorry.
Is this bad pickup line?
I don't know. Just, gross.
Oh, alright. I'm sorry.
It's fine. This is me, not Jaculus. He's drunk. Things will work on him more than me.
Jeez.
Ew. Okay. Well, I'm very happy to be inspirational. Jaculus took the fucking hint.
So he is going to introduce himself.
Uh-huh.
His name is Lorenz.
Ooh. Nice. Hot name.
And Lorenz is going to say that he has tended bar here for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And his family has a cherry grove outside the city.
Oh.
And he has been brewing cordials as early as he can remember. He's glad you liked his concoction.
They are delicious. Every single one of your drinks.
I do my best.
You do better than your best, I think. Sorry.
What does that even mean?
Look, drunk logic works in this.
Fair enough. I mean, I assume Jaculus is going to be having some pretty clumsy lines at this point. That is acceptable. So the barkeep is going to smile at you, and he's probably going to ask, like, where someone like you comes from.
Oh, Sejun.
Awfully long journey.
Oh,
What brings you all the way out here?
Oh, I was kidnapped.
He laughs as if it was a joke.
It wasn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, I know.
So he laughs along as if it was a joke, and then
Jaculus is just smiling.
he asks if you have any plans then.
Oh, well, there were some not very nice ladies that I knew back in Sejun, and I'm going to go back there and knock their teeth in. Yeah.
A good reason as any to travel across the continent.
Right? So, yeah, I'm just on a bit of a journey, I suppose. Longest way I've ever been away from home, and everything's so new and exciting.
Oh, happy to be exciting.
Agreed. I assume Jaculus has been drinking his drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, barkeep is going to continue making short, like small talk with you.
Don't you mean Lorenz?
What did I say? Oh, the barkeep?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Lorenz.
I didn't name him. Lorenz will continue to make small talk with you.
Okay.
Asking you general things about, like, your race. Essentially, like, asking, like, he'd never seen anything quite like you before, and asks, like, you know, where your people are from, sort of a thing.
Jaculus will tell him as much as he remembers from the historian he used to live with.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be some times where he'll be like, I don't exactly know some of those.
Then he's going to ask you what it's like to have 4 hands.
What's it like to only have 2?
He shrugs and says, we make do, I suppose.
There was a bit of a smirk with that one.
But I'd like to think that I lack up for quantity and quality, he says as he spins a glass around his hand.
Very nice. Well, Jaculus will present all 4 of his hands and go, well, the bad joke that I can present to you is I find them rather handy.
He gives you a good chuckle. sets the glass down, pours something into it, and then drinks it himself.
Oh, he wanna get fucked up with me, bro! Yeah! Oh, shit. Okay. I think Jaculus has finished his drink.
Alright, the barkeep's gonna come over. Sorry. Lorenz
Thank you.
is going to lean over, and he's going to rest his hand on yours, on your glass. And he's going to ask if there's anything else you'd like.
Jaculus just points to him and smirks.
He's going to lean in, and he's going to, like, touch the tip of your chin with a finger. And he's going to say, I think that could be arranged. He leans back, turns to one of the other barkeeps, and makes a gesture indicating for that barkeep to take over this section.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to grab a bottle, 2 glasses, and he's going to walk out from behind the bar.
Well, Jaculus needs to get off his stool and fucking follow this boy. Come on, Lorenz! Holla!
Alright, he leads you back through... he opens a door for you that leads back into like a service area.
Mm-hmm.
It adjoins the storage area with the kitchen with the front of house.
Yeah.
And he holds the door open for you.
Oh, quite the gentleman.
He needs to accommodate someone of your size.
Look, it's... Damn! Jaculus will slither through! Fuck you!
Alright, and at that point, he will take you down a side hallway, which leads you to, like, what appears to be quarters of some form.
Uh-huh.
And he uses a key and opens up a door. And it is a well-appointed little room with a pretty reasonable-sized bed, a fireplace, and, you know, a desk with some books on it, papers, things like that.
Very nice.
He says, it's not much, but it's my place in the city.
I think your place is quite lovely.
He's sort of just looking you up and down and smiling.
Is there something you'd like to say to me?
I'd like to say that you're quite lovely as well.
Thank you. I'm very flattered.
He closes the door as the last of you enters the room.
Look, Jaculus is very, very long. He a long boy.
He long boy.
He lonk.
He lonk. So Lorenz will close the door
Mm-hmm.
and flip the latch on it, and then he will place down the bottle and 2 glasses on the desk near the bed, and he'll pop the cork on it and begin to pour them.
Thank you.
This is a much richer brown liquid
Okay.
that has sort of a woody scent to it.
Wood. Whiskey?
Yeah, it's sort of it's a whiskey.
Nailed it.
He doesn't pour much in each glass, but enough. He passes one to you, takes one in his own hand.
Thank you very, very much.
He clicks the glass in your hand with his own,
Mm-hmm.
and then takes a drink from his.
Jaculus will drink from his.
Okay. As soon as the drink, like as soon as you swallow and the glass clears your face,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to follow it up immediately by leaning in and attempting to kiss you.
Oh yeah, Jaculus is in for this one.
Okay.
In fact, Jaculus will probably be a little more damselly at first, and then he'll get a little more aggressive.
Do go on.
I can't. Look, let's just say they have a good romp. There was a lot of passion. They did the sex.
There was some romance.
There was some romance. You know, they drank a bunch, and then Jaculus got this guy to experience his body in a whole new way.
I'm not sure if I would say it's a whole new way.
Oh, that's true. Well, there was a new romp with a new body.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So that happened.
Yeah.
And I hope it was good for both of them.
I mean, I'm willing to roll some dice here. This is a game.
Let's
of
roll
dice,
some
isn't it?
dice.
I'm willing to roll some dice. All right. He was happy with it.
That's good.
And when it's all said and done, he is going to light the little fireplace, and he's going to probably just sort of attempt to lay near you.
Yeah, Jaculus is gonna wrap his tail around this guy.
Okay. And it's like close enough to the fire that it's like nice and comfortable.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. In the figurative hood. Lorenz, wow, meow. Nice.
Yeah, so he's going to, like, fall asleep with, like, holding on to you.
Oh, sweet.
He's, like, probably caressing your face.
Man,
Yeah.
Jaculus had a good night after being
Yeah.
kidnapped, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
This
Had a
makes
nice
up
night
for
after
the
being
bitches
kidnapped.
that I had to deal with.
Almost. You still gotta kill them bitches.
I still gotta kill them bitches.
Or at least knock their teeth.
I gotta do something.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. We going into the
Alright,
morning,
alright.
or
Yeah,
are we
absolutely.
switching characters?
Nah, we're going on to the morning.
Okay.
You've barely done anything. Can't have one night in a tavern be a whole act of the game. Oh my god. You'd never get anything accomplished. So you wake up the next morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that Lorenz is already up and dressed.
Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
He's going to reach over and he's going to toss you an apple.
Jaculus will attempt to catch it.
Okay.
Reflex?
Sure.
Nope. 9.
Give me one more for your other pair of arms.
Okay. Thank you. I want to
Nope.
die even more. It's a 1.
Okay. It lands, like, you go to catch it, and it sort of, like, falls between all 4 of your hands somehow, and ends up, like, landing in your lap.
That works. Jaculus looks a little embarrassed.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. Still waking up, obviously. My bad.
Like I said before, consider your meal last night as well as your friend's room. Consider your debt paid.
I will.
And if you ever find yourself back in Zareth, I think you know where to go.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't go anywhere else. Wink.
He gives you a smile and then says that he has some things to attend to, but you're welcome to sleep in if you need.
Jaculus will shrug and let him go, but we'll get ready for the day. He's gotta,
Okay.
like, make his face look all freshened up. He's gotta do his hair. He's got a lot of work to do, okay?
There's a lot of work involved in looking as fabulous
Exactly.
as that boy looked.
He looked good. So, he'll get ready for the day, preen up a little bit, and he will head on up to check on Hester.
Alrighty. You head up the stairs and you unlock the door and you find Hester has constructed a small nest for herself on the bed. She's taken all the covers and piled them into a nest.
Dude, I used to do that when I was little.
Everyone used to do that when they were little, but I know exactly what you mean. I did too.
Now I just burrito.
You find her, like, sitting in this nest and her eyes are closed, but she's, like, sitting up asleep.
Jaculus is just gonna close the door behind him, so they're in, and just kind of sit on the floor, or if there's a chair, sit on that.
Okay.
He'll just wait for her to wake up. Unless it gets way too late, and then he'll wake her up.
She doesn't seem to be, like, in any hurry to wake up, so...
Alright. Give her a little tap with the end of his tail.
She blinks for a second and looks up. Oh, is it time to go already?
I'm sorry, sweetness. Are you feeling any better?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good.
I had to drink some water during the night, but
Hmm.
I feel okay now. She stands up, hops out of the nest, and starts to walk around the room to stretch her legs out. Make a perception check.
Oh boy, I'm doing so good on the rolls right now, so. Ooh, 10.
Oh, 10.
Ooh,
Okay.
10.
Alright. She seems to be a little wobbly, but otherwise pretty decent.
So, what we do need to find out is where exactly we are on a map, maybe get a map, and then figure out how to get back to Sejun.
Sure. Do we want to try to find a library or ask around if anyone has a map here?
Let's go to a library.
Okay.
If there is one.
She shrugs. She starts to gather her things. As she's gathering her things, she kind of like nonchalantly says, "So, how was the sex?"
Oh, it was great. He was such a gentleman. And plus, he cuddled. God, do I love cuddling.
That must be nice.
You've
So,
never been cuddled even by your family?
no, I just mean the whole thing. I've been cuddled.
I'd say it's nice because I'm familiar to it. And it's a very common thing for where I'm from.
The people in Sejun are cuddlers?
No, the other part. The sex.
Oh, okay. She nods, but you get the sense she doesn't really understand what you mean.
That's okay.
Well, I'm ready to go when you are, I guess.
You got it. And Jaculus will hold an arm down for Pidge if she wants to be in his arms.
I'm gonna stretch my legs out today, I think.
Alright, that's fine. And Jaculus will straighten up, stretch a second, and then slither on out.
If I slow you down, let me know, okay?
Oh, I'm not the fastest either. We'll be fine.
She gives you a happy nod, and you notice that her land speed and your land speed are just about the same.
That works. So,
The two of you head out of the bitter drink. Feel the rays from the morning sun on your skin as you leave the house, and it feels nice.
it's good. Oh, Jaculus probably fucking loves the sun anyways.
Mm-hmm.
1, because of where he's from. 2, snake.
Yeah. Feels energizing and nice.
That is just what I need in the morning.
Isn't it nice? It always makes me want to sing.
You sing?
She nods. I mean, a little bit, but I mean, all harpies sing. Kind of what we do. Well, that and fly and travel and trade and gossip and...
So, you can do everything.
She shrugs. I mean, I can do what most harpies can do, I guess. I'm not really special.
I think you're plenty special, sweetness. You just have to see
Thank
for
you.
yourself.
I'm really glad I met you.
Me too. We are gonna have so much fun. I would have hated to do this all on my own. I would have been so bored.
Well, let's find a library, okay?
You got it.
So the two of you start wandering the city to find a library. You go south a little ways until you get to a large forum area in the middle of the city that is a huge open space. And there is a bustle of activity here. You see an enormous tent being constructed. It is striped red and white.
Were we caught for the circus? Ooh.
You see a large wagon train that has stopped nearby, and it is loaded down with various everythings. There are cages with what appear to be exotic animals. There are passenger cars, like there's nice carriages. All of them have been painted bright and gaudy colors, as if to make this thing stand out and catch the eye from a long distance away. It appears the circus is now.
Fuck a duck. Okay. Jaculus looks nervous.
Why is that?
Dude, there's all these cages.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking, were we meant for this gaudy-ass field trip? Gross, for one thing. How dare you put me in something gaudy? Disgusting.
These colors clash so badly.
They wouldn't match my skin tones at all. Ugh. No, thank you. Oh, God. Jaculus is slowly trying to steer Hester in a different area. Or at least away, so that they're not as suspicious.
What do you think all this is?
Oh...
It looks like a harpy caravan, but it's not.
I don't know, but I see all those cages, and I am not comfortable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't want to go back into a cage anytime soon.
Let's just steer clear of whatever the hell that is.
But, okay. Alright.
Look, we'll find our map first, and if it seems safe, we can kind of get a little bit closer, okay?
Pidge will jump up into your arm.
Aww. Little Pidge. I love her so much. Even if she is a fucking disaster waiting to happen.
Whatever do you mean?
Oh, my good nature is gonna screw me over so bad with this little one.
You're saying that matching Jaculus and Pidge wasn't the best move I could do?
No, it was a good move on your end for a story. I'm just hating everything right now. Yep. Alright, we're looking for a library.
Alright. How would you like to go about finding it?
Jaculus is probably going to ask around here and there if anyone knows of a library in town.
Okay, make a diplomacy check to gather information.
Oh boy, we're doing so good on them rolls right now, so 13.
Okay, so aside from people getting you weird looks, and some of them asking if they can touch you, other ones asking if they're still drunk, and other ones trying to give you a flower.
Aww.
Yeah, some of the people see you and immediately try to find a flower to hand you.
It's not that unusual. Very sweet, though.
And some of them just kind of want to touch you for good luck.
Of course. Look, I've been to houses to bless them before. This isn't new. If I had a fan, I would fan myself so hard right now. So, do I get any leads of where a library is, though?
Nope. Nobody can put
Fuck
together
a duck.
No one can put together two coherent sentences about a library because they see you walk up to them and they just kind of like start to lose their mind about how interesting you are, and they want to like, touch you.
Jaculus looks like he's starting
Or
to pout.
just be like weirdly reverent around you and like backing away with like not saying anything or like bowing.
Yeah.
It's weird. You get the sense there's a lot of superstitions regarding you.
I thought my hometown was like this. Oof. Sweetness?
Yes, Yaya?
I think I'm having trouble because of, well, what I am to ask people. Any chance you could gather information for me? I think I'm screwing the pooch on this one.
Oh, sure, I'll go around and ask people.
Thank you, Sweetness.
Hey, you! She flies over and starts talking to somebody. Well, she does her best to fly over.
Jaculus is just watching from a distance.
So she rushes over and starts to chirp at various people, and basically just be like a cheerful little person on the corner of two streets here, and she's like hopping around and talking to people and hopping around and talking.
So cute.
She'll chirp to get people's attention, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Eventually she'll hop back over to you and say, well, there's not really much of a library in this town. Apparently, some people think that it's not really worth having, but there are some bookstores that some people mentioned.
Huh.
That's almost like a library.
Yeah, except you have to pay. Ugh. Well, that's fine. Let's go to one of those and see if they have any maps.
Alright, you go to a bookstore.
Alright.
Alright, and I'm trying to think of a punny bookstore title.
Beardy.
What?
You're silly.
All bookstore names have to be puns. That's a rule.
Let's see. Cover story? Half-priced books?
Oh my god.
Books a million?
Jesus.
Borders?
Alright, enough.
Gomenasai.
Alright, you find Eckhart's second-hand tome.
Aw, that sounds cute.
It's a cozy little bookshop in the Old District. I'll mark its location for you.
Merci beaucoup.
Alright, its pin has now been added to the city.
Nice.
And it is a sleepy little bookstore. And inside you find rows and shelves of various dusty old tomes.
Hello? Is anyone in here?
Oh yes, just mind the step. It can be troubling for some.
Any chance you have any maps in here?
Maps? Oh, of course. Yes, we have maps.
Wonderful. Jaculus will, as carefully as he can, slither in.
So there's like a step to get in, which is not really much of an issue for you, since you
Yeah.
don't really have to step over things. And you enter the building. You find that Eckhart is like very much engrossed in a book and has not looked up at you at all.
Oh.
And he's going to point to a section of the store and go, back that way, first two shelves along the bottom.
Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Slither back there.
Okay. So you look in the area and you find maps of the continent, as well as maps of all of the various kingdoms and regions outside of the Kintao Empire.
Alright.
So what maps would you like to purchase?
I definitely want the main map, the continent map.
Okay. Continental map. Easy enough. Right, so you buy a map of Obador. I'll go ahead and push that.
And Jaculus is gonna ask, where in Ville are we?
What?
Are we not in Ville? Sorry, I was
No.
kidnapped. I have no idea what town I'm in.
This is the first time that he will look up from his book, and he's kind of stunned for a second. Are you real?
Oh, as real as that book you're reading.
He slaps it shut. A Serpentes in my bookshop.
Hi there.
Huh. What? Oh. He like puts a hand over his heart. Oh, this is amazing. Well,
Thank you. Very
Tell you what.
sweet.
You can have that map. No
Oh.
charge.
Thank you so much. Where are we on the map?
Oh, come here.
Okay.
He gestures you over to the table he's sitting at.
He'll slither over with the map. Big smile.
He's going to splay it out across the whole table, and he's going to point to the Free States. He's going to point to an area north of a large lake, where it is marked the word Zareth. So say here, we're here in Zareth, the trade city, the capital of the Free States.
No, not in
You thought
Ville.
you were still in.
Well-
You thought you were still in Ville.
Actually, I'm from Sejun.
Ah, traveler.
No, I got kidnapped.
Oh.
And
wow,
now I'm
that's
here.
A long way to be kidnapped from your home.
I agree.
Are you? Well, I suppose that's why you needed the maps, huh?
Yeah. Is there anything that you have where it's a bit closer in this area so I can mark out my path that I need to go to get back there?
Of course, I can get you a map for the Free States, and he goes over to the shelf that had all the maps and starts pulling random ones. He pulls a map of the Free States. He pulls a map of the Mary Valley. He pulls a map of Vatra, Moscova, the Iron Mountains, and Sejun.
Oh.
So he gets all the area maps out, and he lays them down and kind of like links them together for you, so you can see like a detailed geographical survey of the whole region.
Oh, now this is perfect. How much for all of these?
Excuse me, Yaya?
What's up, sweetness?
Aren't we gonna go back to Serica?
Oh, yes. We need a map for the Sercan Mountains, so that I can take my little friend back to her home, too. She was kidnapped, too.
Oh, of course. And he pulls out a map of the Serica Mountains, and it also has the Zash Basin on it as well, in one single map.
Wonderful. Oh, we are going on an adventure. Oh. Would you like me to bless your shop for you?
Would you?
Of course.
And if it's not too much trouble, I doubt any of my other shopkeep friends would believe me if I told you, or if I told them that you visited. Is there some souvenir I could have?
Just a moment. This'll take me a second. Please don't look while I do this, if you don't mind.
He turns around.
Jaculus will pull up the end of his tail and just kind of get a good medium-sized scale.
Okay.
Just kind of pull it out.
Okay. So it smarts a bit.
Sorry about that. Would this do?
He turns around and he sees it and he gasps. I'll treasure this.
Oh, I know. Now, you wanted me to bless the shop for you, right?
This is blessing enough.
Are you sure? I could do more. It's so kind of you to give me all these maps.
He just gives you a huge smile and says, this is plenty.
Of course. And Jaculus will lay one of his hands slightly on the cheek of the old man bookstore owner guy. And just smile meaningfully.
Yeah, he's probably early 50s, so he's not super old, but he's old enough.
Yeah, he's older than Jaculus at least.
Yeah.
All will be well, my friend. Alright, let's bind up these maps and get on the road, am I right?
Right. He rolls up all the maps for you and places them in a map case and hands it to you.
Thank you again so much for your help.
Oh no, it was truly my pleasure. A good journey to you.
Thank you, and I hope your sales go magnificently. You deserve it.
He's ecstatic looking.
Shall we go, Hester?
Yes, please.
Different show. And they leave.
Right, you leave, and as you leave, the bookstore owner will be like, "Farewell, miss."
Jaculus will just princess wave behind him. He's not gonna correct that.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so you are now armed with maps of most of the continent.
Woo! We can go wherever we want! Alright, so we know exactly where we need to go to get to your Serican Mountains. So that'll be our first stop, alright?
Pidge gives you a hug.
You'll be home before you know it, little one.
The best aunt.
I know. And
right.
We'll start our way out of the Free States, hopefully.
Yeah, and the two of you begin your journey, and that is where we will fade to black.
To black. To black.
To black.
Nice.
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 Oh, that was so fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening to Snake Eyes. As always, special thanks to William Succi for the intro and outro themes, and Emily Roll for Fantasy for this episode soundtrack. Interested in following us on social media? Follow us on Twitter at CheckPleaseDND. Or, want to support the podcast and be part of the Czech Republic? Go to our Patreon under the Czech Republic. Until next time!